Oh, this is actually kind of big. So Inero is joining Cloud9 as assistant coach. It's pretty interesting because I feel like I've never been, to be fair, I've never been an Inero fan. Like I really disliked him with Golden Guardians. I guess he has respect within the community. I look at a lot of the teams he's coached, like this 2024 Immortals. I think the most egregious one was like in 2021 where he had that roster where it was Niles, Iconic. People don't even remember this roster. Niles, Iconic, a Blaze Olive. Was it Stixay at that point? And Newbie? Is that what the fucking roster was? No, that was the roster. And this roster like was clearly just made with bad intent. They brought 2 players up 3 divisions. Like, because if you think about how the divisions work, you have tier 1, which is pro play, like LCS, tier 2, academy, tier 3, amateur, and then you had tier 4, which was collegiate. And they took 2 players from collegiate and just put them in the LCS, and then they just ran it down and their whole careers were ruined, right? And the idea, like, and I really hated the whole idea from Inero that this was actually done because they're like, they wanted to make a commitment to the players and they wanted to build them up. It was a developmental project. It's like they just kicked them the next split. So it's like, what was the development, bro? What was the development? They developed for 6 months and then you got rid of them. I really like hated that. So I like remember I made these comments publicly and then he kind of like, he took like shots at me, said I didn't know what I was talking about. Where it's like, no, I know what I'm talking about. Like what it literally is that you don't have a fucking budget and you're just feeding the community some bullshit because you thought that was the nicest way to spin it. And I just see right through that thing, that shit. Like I see right through it. It's obviously you just don't have a budget because you're on fucking Golden Guardians and they gave up on League of Legends. They tried to exit as fast as they could. So because of that, you just have to go for these players. But yeah, like the idea that they're developmental players and like, oh, you should support the team. It's like, no, we shouldn't support the team. F that team. You don't have to say, oh, we have no, but like, but spin it something more believable than we just really believe in Niles and Iconic. They're going to be the next big things in the LCS and I'm going to fucking coach them into being like champion. Like this was all just complete bullshit. So anyways, I've never been huge on Inero for that reason. I think if you look at his track record of teams he's coached, it's been like nothing special. He was the GM of that Golden Guardians team last year, which I guess was the biggest success he's ever had, where, you know, he was the GM of a team that ended up making it to finals. They got a 2nd place and a 4th place. They made it to Worlds and MSI. Not really Worlds. They've got the play-in match of Worlds and they ended up losing. But whatever. He is now going to be the coach of Cloud9. Not really the strategic coach, like more like the head coach role that you normally see in Asian regions. Well, I mean, he's not even considered head coach here, but like essentially what it will be is that he's going to be the one coach, and then you're going to have like another part of the coaching staff that actually does the gameplay related stuff. But maybe like they get the title of head coach, even though they're doing the gameplay stuff and he's in charge of other aspects. All right. Superstars like Jojo Pian and Berserker off the team. C9 is hoping to follow through with its lofty competitive ambitions while staring down the far loftier expectations of its fans. What is this sentence, by the way? Can somebody tell me what this sentence is? C9 is hoping to follow through on their lofty competitive ambitions while staring down the far loftier expectations of fans. Wait, so the fans, where did they get this line? Oh, this is Arshua. So like the fans are expecting C9 to win Worlds and like C9 just like the players are like, oh, it'd be nice to like make it out of quarterfinal. Like what the fuck does that mean, bro? I feel like C9 fans are pretty like balanced in terms of what their expectations are, or like I guess the players just have no ambition is what we're saying. That like the fans have more expectations from C9 than the C9 players have ambitions. Like the what? Wow, I really just fucking hate that sentence. Nice. This year, C9 never managed to challenge Team Liquid or FlyQuest at the top of the table. Inero is another new piece of a Cloud9 hoping to change that in 2025. Sheeb Esports also reported that C9 has reached an agreement to sign Jesper Svenington as the AD carry, meaning that the team's offseason is now focused on finding an import mid laner to round out the roster. Is it more ambition than C9 has for itself? No, they have more expectations than C9 has ambitions. That is a crazy statement to make. That is a crazy statement to make. But hey, I mean, look, they're leakers, so maybe they've done their research within the team and they actually realize that the team just has very low ambitions. So the expectations from the fans are higher than the ambitions. Because you got to remember that like NA fans are not that delusional. We don't really have the cultish like KC, Mad Lions fan bases that are like, we're gonna win Worlds. Like, NA fans are kind of like, it'd be nice to see you just not shit the bed at Worlds completely. Like, that's kind of the expectations from the fans. Like, the realistic expectations, if you get the pulse of the community, what NA fans want is to have a team that's like semi-competitive. They can lose. They don't have to win Worlds. Like, making it out of groups would be nice. Maybe beating like one Asian team would be good. Like, that is what the expectations are.